how does AI fundamentally change daily learning for diverse students compared to a couple of years ago? Is there anything you notice now that's like a profound difference now that AI is here? And I'll start with you. Any profound things you've noticed?
I don't know if I want to call it profound, but I will say, and by the way, it wasn't in the bio, but I'll share. So I also co-authored the book, The Promises and Perils of AI in Education with Ken Shelton. And we talk about this a little bit in the book, but considering what I see as opportunity, the question is will teachers take advantage of the opportunity, or will they utilize AI to do more of the same? And so what we have in our education system, by and large, speaking generally, we have rampant, not only inaccessibility, which I think we will definitely be talking about, but we have discrimination, we have lack of tailored to the cultural opportunities of connection points with students. So what we have is a disproportionate rate of criminalization within our education system, particularly for students of color. So these are all like things that we know. And so utilized wrongly, we can just press the fast forward button and accelerate and exacerbate these existing problems, right? So that is the fearful thing or a potential peril. But the opportunity is, what does it look like to utilize AI for a teacher in particular to say, you know what, these things that I've been doing in a way to try and get to know my students, to have them write little personal journal entries, for them to tell me about some of their interests, for me to do all of these things, has been a helpful thing in the past. But now I can potentially utilize AI in order to summarize and analyze some of the connection points that I may have missed, and also identify opportunities within my lesson plans to cater some of those instructions and some of the examples, all of those things for those students. And so learning from AI, and I know that sounds weird, but learning from AI as an educator is an opportunity. Unfortunately, again, if all we do is just continue more of the same, then what we have is what we've always had. And that is, we're just going to catch kids cheating instead of teaching them how to utilize these tools effectively and ethically, and for the teachers to look at how to utilize these tools to learn how to become more culturally responsive.
Right.
That's interesting. The whole time you were talking, I was envisioning like a new door being opened, and like it's your choice where you step in and what you see through that door. Thank you, Dee. I'll repeat it. How does AI fundamentally change daily learning for diverse learners as compared to several years ago? Anything you're noticing from Dr. Lindsey?
Yeah, it's always interesting watching the evolution of an emerging technology, especially in hindsight, because you're like, remember when we were all looking at this thing this way? And then it started going, and I think in 2023 it was like the first wave was really like, oh my God, everyone's gonna cheat, right? And then the second wave was like, actually, maybe AI could personalize learning. But I echo what Dee said in that we have to be really careful, because we started looking at AI as this personalized tutor. And the problem is that if we don't understand algorithms and how those algorithms work on the back end, that personalization can lead to more inequity. And so there's a lot, I speak in Arizona to a lot of superintendents and leaders who are very excited about the possibility of AI, who don't really understand how AI works, and so it can be a little dangerous. And so I see now the third wave is this wave of really talking about AI literacy. We have to understand how it works. We have to understand the ethics. We have to be thinking about its impact, not just for an individual student, but for all students. And so I'm really pleased. And again, it's just interesting to see that evolution of our thinking. And I hope we continue to think along these lines and thinking about equity the way this panel was set up.
Absolutely. Thanks. All right, Todd, you're up.
All right, a quick question. How many of you guys here are teachers? All right. Okay, so you guys, and how many district administrators, campus administrators? So you guys know that some of the stuff that we're dealing with is the teacher burnout. We're dealing with trying to fill classrooms with teachers, and sometimes it's subs. And what do we have here? Alternative certified teachers coming in, and what they're still getting is like we still need to differentiate for these students. How do we differentiate? And one of the things that we're doing in our district is we are providing as much as we can lessons, like things that are written out, kind of scripted out, because we do have people coming in and like they didn't go through traditional route, or they're not really coming with any kind of educational background. How do we get them to be able to serve these students? But they're still getting like, I've got a student that reads above grade level here. I got a student that's right at level. I got a student that's below level. I might have a special ed student. I might have even in some cases maybe even a GT student. How do we differentiate for all those students? How do we make learning relevant? And that's been a thing that we've always tried to struggle with. I'm dealing with this concept over here. I mean, how do I make this relevant to these kids to help them understand this is something important for you to know? So something just basic is like getting to the AI, and you're burnt out, you don't have time to think, and you don't have time to like, okay, how can I make this? It's like using AI just as a thought partner. Like, how can I I'm teaching this, blah, 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 blah. How can I make this relevant to my students? I have a student, and of course, we never put PII information in there, but I have a student who is reading at this level, and I want to help differentiate for him. And we're called to do all these, educators are called to do all these different things all at one time, and you get the help here. And we only have so many coaches, we only have so many instructional staff that can help along those lines. And here in Texas and probably wherever you are, the budgets, they're cutting those district staff. It's like, hey, where do we have a budget deficit, where do we cut? Well, we cut the district staff. And okay, that's great, but the district staff is what's supporting the campus staff. What do we do now? And so helping using AI to differentiate and just as a thought partner to ease that load, that cognitive load just a little bit to be able to reach these students.
I would absolutely agree. It's been a pretty good thought partner for me, even if I don't agree, even if I question it. Just the idea that I'm seeing more and more people bouncing things back and forth with it is definitely a trend I'm noticing.